first thing what I will do with my EB.
Jakub Samuel.
So I'm very happy for your application, Anka. Now I would like to ask you, why do you think you can lead this LC better than the other applicants?
Thank you for your question. And I appreciate that question. But I think that this is a question for you, not for me. Thank you.
Olga Szymonowa. Aleksandra Szergan. Maria Szymkowa.
I want to know how you want to protect yourself against burnout syndrome. Because I know you will have a lot of work.
Thank you, Mary. It's a really interesting question. And I don't know, this job is one thing which really fulfills me. And I don't think that after my term I will have any sickness. I will be happy and healthy.
Thank you very much for replying. I was thinking about what question I will ask you, and you probably expecting some tough one, but I realized that I asked you everything I wanted to, I gave you everything I could, so now I'll just do that.
Thank you.
Please don't make a habit out of not asking questions when you're supposed to ask questions. Anna Sztúrová.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I wanted to ask if you're going to change something with the structure of this.
I think that I won't do any big changes. I just change one area. I put more JD to TM. There is like more JD, and I don't think that it is such a big change.
Kateřina Švambergová.
Hi, Anka, thank you for your presentation. And I would like to ask you, what would you do if members of your EB wouldn't deliver the results you wanted, and if they wouldn't be performing well?
If you want to apply for the EB position, you should be able to deliver your results. You should know that it's the time when you have to help the LC, and you are the role model. And if this person won't be able to, or this person doesn't want to deliver something, there are the doors. I don't need such lazy people in our LC.
Sára Fiedlerová.
Thank you for the presentation, and I would like to ask you what is the most important attribute for you to choose your future ED members? What is the crucial thing ED member has to have?
Each area has some weaknesses, has something which would have to be influenced, and this is how I would like to choose the people for these areas. For example, if I'm missing some drive in some FA, I will choose the person for this area which is like with a really drive for this.
Martina Lenčová. Okay, we have run to the end of the list of full members, so we are moving to the two questions of alumni, MC, and guests. Alumni, MC, and guests, do you have two questions or would you like to choose? Okay, so please, give chat.
Dear Anka, on behalf of MC team of ISEC Czech Republic and also on behalf of the whole generation check-in, we would like to congratulate you on this decision to apply for the LCP, and also we want to wish you lots of energy and clear mind during the whole election process. And our question is following. How do you want to ensure, a part of Level Up project, that CR actually directly contributes to growth in exchange areas. Thank you.
Please remember 20 seconds to ask questions.
Um, um, without companies in this project, we wouldn't be able to do this project, to realize that. Because there would be a high risk of loss, which I wouldn't allow to. And I think that this is the way how CR is supporting our exchange growth. Because without this money, we wouldn't be able to realize this project. Without money from CR, we wouldn't be able to send our members to conferences because we wouldn't have enough money for that. It's not just for realization of the project, but it's also like investments to development of our members.
Second question from MCL Bank guests.
So Anka, I think that the fight for the LCP requires a lot of determination and courage, and I appreciate you for that. Also, I am very glad to see Slovak pipeline for the LCP license grant. The question is following. What are 4 main things that you will do as an LCP to ensure that Praha has at least 100 members?
At least 100 members. My answer is that I don't think that we need 100 members for achieving our goals, because we are not going to grow extremely, but slowly. And I know that we can have here many members, but most of them won't work. And I want in our LC to be people, just people who really want to work to achieve our goals.
First round of questions is over. We still have 9 minutes left, so we will move on to the second round of questions. And where we will stop, we will continue with the next applicant. I will use just the numbers, so it's quicker than saying all the names out loud. So number 2, number 4 is not different. Number 5, number 6. Question. Number 7, number 8. Speak out loud, please. So even the guests in the back will hear. The question is, why does Anka think she's able to lead her EB team?
I know that I have the skills for leading the team. I was doing this during the whole term in my area in finance. I have to find a way how to speak with each person in our LC to tell them the importance of the finance. And believe me, it is really difficult to find a way to do each person. Also, it was the same in our EB. I couldn't shout on our members that they are not fulfilling the plans, but I had to calm myself and find a way how should I support them and to give them the courage to continue. And I think that these are the skills.
Time is up. I'm looking for answers.
These are the skills.
Time is up. Yo, you want to prolong? Okay, then you can.
I think that these are the skills. Sorry, these are the skills of right leader. And this is the thing what told me our current LCP Ondra. He was teaching me to do so during the whole term, so I'm grateful for that.
Number 9. Number 11. Well,
I have a question. Thank you for your presentation. As you mentioned that there's a door, I appreciate that approach, but what would you do if, let's say, a newbie came to you and said, I really want to continue, but I don't know how? Or it's similar to the burnout syndrome. What would you do?
actually it shouldn't happen. But if this member doesn't know what he should do, it's the fault of team leader. And maybe, I know that it's not a fault, but I would go directly to this team leader and tell him that he has problems with his member and he has to do something with that. Because I know that I think it's about learning new things, and I said that it's a fault, but it's normal. I think that most of you didn't know at the beginning what you should do.
Number 15. As you said, we dropped the ball in these 3 years. If you look back into your term, would you change anything?
If we didn't do these mistakes, which we did, I wouldn't be able to stay here because I wouldn't know what should I do. I think that this was the term which had to come. This drop had to come because now we can realize that we have to do something. And it is also the kind of motivation.
16.
My question is, how would you handle conflict in team, in EB team, if there was one?
The question is, how would Anka handle conflict in EBD if there ever is one?
I think that we are adults, so we can find the right way, and it's up to the situation. Thank you.
18. 20. 21.
Yes, I have one. And he said that for this winter peak, we have we need to focus on IGV, but you want to focus on IOGX, even though it's after this winter peak, and so it's different. So how you will balance it?
It's actually a good question. And I know that we could have 2 focuses during our term, but I don't want to have 2 focuses. And it doesn't mean that I won't work with IGB. I want to work with IGB and stabilize processes there. I think that this project which we are having right now, they are sustainable, and they can wait a year for their time to improve them. Thank you.
22.
So, Anka, you also talked about focus on CR. Now, besides level up, could you be more specific and explain us what you mean by focus on this functional area?
First, I said, maybe I said it badly, but it's focus on connection between CR and exchange areas. And the other thing we actually are going to do is that our companies will be the part of OGX. They will show our potential interns or our interns how they can use their experience from internships in their daily life and how they should put it in their CV. And this is the way how we can make our approach to our customers and our service more professional.
23.
Right now, the problem with Level Up is like there is no one selling the project like directly for the sake of Level Up. How do you think you can like solve it for, let's say, for the next term?
You mean that there is
For selling Level Up for companies? Because right now, like
So the question is, there is no one responsible for sales of companies for Level Up. How do we manage?
as I said, this area and these connections will be my focus. So in CI will be one person who will have interjointly also the project level up. Thank you.
24. 25. 26. 27.
Yes, So, Anka, what do you think LC Praha is the best at? Understand?
Yeah, but I'm thinking. No, oh, okay. No fun. Serious question. But we are not worried of doing new things. That even if we dropped and most of things went badly, we are still here. And we have still the motivation to continue. And from our EV team, there are 3 applicants for LCP position, because we do not want to give up, and we want to continue and help our LC. So I think this is.
So the time for question is almost over, so next applicant we will start with number 28, but before I will allow Anka to leave and rejoin the rest of the applicants, not yet. There is one traditional question as the last questions on every applicant that is traditionally asked by the alumni. So is there a brave alumni that would like to ask the last question?
So, Anka, as you know, or most probably know, the LCP position is very stressful during the year, and it can face many obstacles during the whole term. Therefore, you obviously also have to somehow release the tension and make yourself relaxed. So, my question is whether Polikáš nepliveš.
No, Polycom. It depends on liquor.
So that was the final question. So we will make a small adjustment from what I presented before, and we will have the 1-minute speeches right now. And that will stand for every applicant, because there was a slight miscommunication from my side and the chairman of the committee, so the 1-minute speeches are right after the questions. So, are you ready for the final speech?
As I said, I know that this term will be really difficult. I know that you feel quite scary, but I know that together, not just people who are sitting here, but with help of our alumni, we can achieve our goals during this term. And all together, we can ensure that LC Prague will be here for generations to come. Thank you.
Allow 2 more guests, Lucas America and Aliana, to enter the room as guests. I heard that there are 2 alumni that need to leave the room. Do I know? Okay, you know.
Perhaps the question if we can have sometimes some 5-minute break for.
What will say the show? We'll have 3 minutes to speak. Okay, in that case, right now, the time is 19:23, so 19:26. We are starting. Don't talk to the applicants. You are not allowed to interact with them in any way.
Is this being streamed?
Yeah.
Stop it. Damn. Do that.
No! You ruined it!
I didn't.
Lebo jde o to, že jsme už potřebovali povědět to nějaký. Že tak je nám přes období a přijde vlastně baby disertace. Víš, a na dveřích aby šéf postupoval, než se tě.
Matěj přišel. Nakonec máme rychlou pauzu.
Я даже сначала не успела.
Ondro, SMS alebo Facebook?
Find your seats. We are continuing with the LCP Elections Legislative Assembly. Everyone find your seats.
When you see.
You can relocate, I allow you. Very well. So, now being ready. Find your seats. We are moving on to the second round of questions with the second applicant. So please help me welcome in the room Pavel Bebra. Chair, or if you want to stand up.
I can stand.
Very well. In that case, we are continuing where we left off before the break, so number 28. No question, 29.
Okay, I have a question. You mentioned that finance was one of the issues and OG was one of the keys to solve it. What do you think are the other options how to make this area work better or more sustainable?
You mean finance now?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that the fundamental solution for every financial problem is to grow. So that means that when we as ISEC Praha will deliver the exchanges and deliver the projects, we logically will get more finance. But if you ask for a particular answer, so for example, one idea is to connect more CR with the IGV project. So the IGV projects can be more profitable and they will bring exchanges and money as well. That's just one idea, for example.
31. No question? 32. Mohammed?
Yeah. So My question is what's your definition for happiness?
Okay, you are happy when you are not sad.
33.
Yes, I have a question. How to work with the news, because we have real work in this part, maybe some changes or so on.
Yes, like the newies are obviously one of the key resources that we have, and I think we are starting things that will involve in better work with newies. For example, like buddy system. I think, for example, when we will develop this system properly, we will be able to catch more problems and solve them more efficiently. And I believe that in the structure, the most crucial part are the team leaders. So when the team leaders will work well, they will transform this well work to their newies, and the newies will work as well. So I think that there is a solution in the middle management, let's say.
35.
We are talking a lot about changing our mindset. Can you tell me a few action steps how to do it?
Okay. What I think is the most crucial part here is the thing that our mindset now is that I think that many of you don't know that exchange is our fundamental product. So this is the first thing I want to change now. That highlight that exchange is what we are doing. So that's the first thing. The other thing is to more highlight that ISEC is here, that you can achieve things in ISEC and praise the people who are achieving something. And for example, in a Let's Prague, you can shape the agenda or shape the goals of the agenda in order to make the mindset of the people. There are you can for example highlight on every plenary that it is important to deliver results, so people will remember it because it's the first touch with ISEC. So this is just 3 action steps that came to my mind.
36. No question. 37. No question. 39. 40. No, it's not here. 41. Thank you. Question. So, question. Yeah. Firstly, thank you very much, Paul, for applying. I know that you were deciding for a long time, so it makes me very happy that you eventually decided. I thought about what question can I give you, and I asked you already everything. I gave you already everything that I could, so my question is simple to make people satisfied. Are you ready?
Yes.
42.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I would like to ask what are the main characteristics you appreciate in applicants during choosing the new AP?
That's a good question. Thank you. I think many of you know that what I really appreciate in the people is their, let's say, smart thinking. That I really like when people can think smartly and that they, let's say, have a signs of intelligence. And the other thing that I really appreciate in people is the emotional intelligence, so they are empathetic and they can feel how other people feel. I think it's really important. The third thing is self-confidence. I see this as very crucial here in ISEC, that you have to be self-confident and really stand behind what you think, and you can argue for your goals or for your opinion.
43.
Do you think that it's, firstly, thank you for the presentation. And do you think that it's more important to focus on the fulfilling the plan and the results, like numerical results, or on the experience of the members?
I don't see the conflict here. I think it's pretty achievable to have both. But what I think is now more important now in this situation in ISEC Praha are the results, because yes, caring of the experience is nice, and you can gain a lot through that. But we are here to deliver results. We are not here to care for people and their sad, I don't know, mood or whatever.
44.
Yes,
presentation, and I would like to ask you which 3 people like encourage you the most or help you the most with your decision to apply for president.
Okay. One of them is for sure Ondra, because I seen whole year that how he really enjoyed his role as LCP, and so yeah, I've pretty much seen that. Okay, this is maybe something I want to do also. Yep. The other 2. Yeah, I think it's like unexpected, but one of them is indirectly my mother, because she always encouraged me to do things what I like, and all the time, like when I like something, to go for it. And she also supports me being in ISEC. She wants me to like stay here because she can see the progress which I make here. And there are like a whole bunch of people which really encourage me, and like it's really probable that they are all sitting here, so I will not.
Your time is up. 45.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Paolo. And my question is, could you do some change in our structure?
Yes, I wrote it in my application that I think that in order to make our IGV area grow even more, we need there some change, because there are too many teams there and the VP isn't really able to maintain them all. So I want to do there like a middle manager guy who will have underneath him the Edison and Edison little teams, and so the VP can focus more on the new project. And yeah, there are some smaller changes in the structure which are like obvious, that I want to have CompR area again. Because I think it's really crucial, and yeah, but this is the main thing, and I will see if I want to make another changes later.
Moving on to 2 questions from the side of MC, alumni, and guests. Do we have 2 questions, or do we have more? Lavi.
And the question from the MC is this. You all stated that you are, there's nothing revolutionary needed in ISEC Praha. So the question is, why is this that ISEC Praha is not the best LC at this particular moment?
Thank you. Yeah, I think you technically answer your question, because there is nothing revolutionary needed, because everything was already done. And when I was looking at the last 3 EB terms, everybody was focused on something else than exchanges. There was quality, then there was like a leadership experience, and we were more focused on like inventions and more customer centricity. So I think that yeah, this EB worked on these things, and they done a really good job. And now is the time to use this and like grow from it. I answered your question.
Second question from your side. You ready?
So Pablo, I think that applying for the LCP requires a lot of commitment and courage. So I think that it's really worth appreciation. And I personally like to see Slovak pipeline for the LCP. The question is following. What are the 3 main things that you will initiate as LCP to bring the budget of ISEC Praha into service?
Okay, thank you. The first thing I want to focus on is the proper delivery of CR projects, because I think CR is like crucial for our finance. The second one is to, as I said, the answer to the question of Seb is to connect more CR with the IGB project, because we already did it in Level Up project, and so we can see it's completely achievable. And the third thing is when we will focus on the things that matters and that we want to grow on, we will probably not spend money on things that doesn't matter. So, for example, I don't want to spend so much money on promotion for OGT, for example. So I think we can save money on the things that we will not focus.
Number 2. Number 5. Number 6.
Yes, I have a question. Thank you, Pavel, for your presentation. I have a question. How would you change the way how to recruit the new members?
Okay, something with this is already happening in the national level. We are slowly going to the model of ongoing recruitment. Sorry. So I think this is one of the ways that we will have our applications open throughout the whole year. But if you are asking like how I want to make sure that we will have enough applications in, for example, this spring recruitment, I think one of the reasons why the last recruitment sucked was that we weren't really prepared for it. So I want to start for the preparation right now. I will choose OC now, like next week, and we will start the preparation. And we can also start focusing more on other universities. For example, ČVUT, we have there already one very enthusiastic guy who wants to spread ISEC there. So, yeah.
Now I allow Kubo Kovač and Danka to join the elections as guests. And moving on with the questions, number 7. Number 8.
So, what do you think is the biggest weakness of recruitment?
So what does Pavel think is the biggest weakness of recruitment?
Okay, I think we don't know how to address the students of University of Economics in order to really attract their attention. We are not able to persuade them that ISEC is worth it, because I don't think that you can persuade someone in joining some organization when you will put there just some like statement which doesn't say anything. So I think the message is very crucial, and when we will focus on like making really great message that will attract students and persuade them that it is worth joining ISEC, that we will highlight the things that they can learn here or highlight why they should be here. They're like selfish reasons. I think we can do better.
Number 9.
Yes, I have a quite simple questions. It's just that what do you find more important, members or results?
So what's more important, members or results?
Okay, I think I already, that was also Kaczka's question, so I answered that. Right now, I see the results are more important in this situation. And yes, ISEC was founded not to take care of people, ISEC was founded to deliver exchanges, so results.
11?
I have a short question about how would you change the way we motivate new members of ISEC?
Okay, I think the really basic thing here is why people are joining ISEC. So it's connected with what I told Petra, that I think our recruitment or the message on VR recruiting doesn't really set expectation well. So I think that there is because when somebody is expecting something and he doesn't get it, he will be demotivated either way. So I think this is the first part of the motivation. And the second part is like when I was mentioning it, I want to build some culture of achievement. So I want to appreciate and praise people who achieve something and who work more, and this can motivate others when you have this like culture that, okay, when you do something, you are praised and you are the good guy.
Number 12?
Yes, I have a question, Pavel. You talked a lot about new members. What are actual steps that you would take, let's say, to prevent newbies from leaving?
Okay.
Or even old members?
Okay, here's the question, if I should prevent that, because this term I realized that it is not a bad thing when somebody leaves, because he leaves because he either has bad expectation, or he doesn't feel the commitment, or he doesn't want to work, or he just, I don't know, idiot or whatever. So I think it's not bad when somebody leaves, but yes, we can do more to prevent more people leaving, and that's I think was my answer to Thomas. So.
15.
Yes, I have a question. You mentioned that you would like to focus more on people who volunteer, and I wanted to ask you how exactly would you focus on GB except your mentioned connection with CR?
I think in the IGV there is really big space to grow, for growth, and I think there are like three things I want to do there. The first one is the proper delivery of the project, because for the last year we haven't delivered any of our projects properly. For example, on Arizona we were planning to have 24 EPs and we had 18 or something like that. So that's the first part. The second part is building on a new project. We have 2 new projects, and I think we can, bring some more exchanges for them, because these projects will be good and will be relevant. And the third thing is I want to bring a tradition that every EB will make a new IGV project, because I think there is a huge space for doing it. There are like NGOs or I don't know, national parks or cities, whatever. There's a huge space of our potential customers, so I want to bring this tradition, one EB, one new IGV project. 16?
You mentioned the cooperation with other LCs, and one of your points was like to send VPs to other LCs. Can you be more specific, like how do you imagine this one?
Okay, that was just a random idea, but I think it's relevant to because I know when I was starting as a VP, I didn't have a clue what is going on in other LCs. I thought that, okay, it's working probably just like in our LC, but it really isn't. And there are a lot of things we can learn from other LCs, or even in Czech Republic. So yeah, I imagine it, for example, that in one week in the summer, I will call LCP in Praha, for example, and okay, so let's exchange some VPs, so you can send us somebody who you don't like or whatever. And when I will somehow widen it, may also, for example, okay, so in Brno you are good in OGX, so you can send us somebody from OGX. We are good in IGV, so we can send you somebody from IGV, and we can learn from each other.
18?
Okay, Pavel, what do you think would be the biggest challenge, or if you were selected, what do you think would be the biggest challenge you would have to face? And I'm not talking about the committee, but about yourself.
About myself. Okay. For me, there are a couple of them. Like one of them is that it was really hard decision making to either go for LCP or not, because I really like ISEC, but I don't think ISEC is everything for my life, and I think there are other things that I can do, and let's say that, for example, in Slovakia, I have another community of friends who really wants me to go there and work with them, etc. So I will have the, there will probably come a time when I will be attracted more to either to return to Slovakia or to do something else, but I think I can overcome it.
Number 20? 21.
I have a question. As you told before, you want to focus more on results, not on members. But for these results, you need to motivate them somehow, because there will not be some taking care of, like not focusing on taking care of them. So what's your motivation?
Okay, I mentioned it 3 times, but whatever. I don't think this is a conflict. I know that everybody sees it as a conflict, that either you have motivated members or you have results. It's like not very logical idea, because when you have motivated member, logically you have results. And I think it's like a circle. So when you have members, they will deliver results, and when you have the results, it will motivate members, because they see, okay, it's possible to make results, so it will motivate members. So I think that we are now like the results. So I think when I will make the results work, it will motivate members, because they will see, yes, this is like a culture of results, of achievement, and we can do it and work. And
22.
I do have a question. Pavel, I would like to ask you, because throughout your term as a VP for talent management, you learned obviously many qualities, but what would be specific quality that would help you to be a good LCP that you learned throughout the term of the talent?
Thank you. Maybe it will be a patience. I know that maybe you do not consider me a very patient person, but I learned a lot in this field throughout my VP term. I had to be patient like every day and not to be mean. So yeah, maybe you disagree, whatever. I think that the patience is the thing that I learned, and it's really needed in LCP term because probably.
23.
I have a question. Pavel, you said that you want to focus more on volunteering and IGB. So don't you think that we need to let our members, go volunteering because our members don't go? So how you want to promote this to other people?
Yes, I'm completely okay with the promotion of exchanges here in our LC. Like, okay, members can go to exchange during the summer. They are encouraged to do so, and they even have a discount. But I don't think that encouraging our members to go for exchange will really help us in our either finance or results or whatever, because they don't pay the whole sum, and we have like 60 members now, so if everybody goes, yes, it will raise our results, but I don't think it's really possible.
24.
Thank you for your presentation, Pavel. My question is, what does leadership mean to you?
For me, leadership is the ability to stand from the crowd and don't be afraid to express yourself, even though anybody else around you don't agree with you.
25.
Okay. How will you ensure that you will have more discipline in your LC?
Do you think our LC like this discipline?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Okay. I'm not really sure that we really need a lot more discipline. But yeah, whatever. I think the way for almost everything are the team leaders. So when VPs will like get into discipline their team leaders, they will obviously get into discipline or whatever their newies, because the team leaders are the group of people which are easily influenced than members, because it's a smaller group. So yeah, I think I can push more on the VPs to be more strict with their team leaders, and they will be then more strict with their members.
26.
Hello. Thank you for your application and for your presentation, and you should do that. My question is following: why do you think you are a better candidate than ladies are?
I will not answer this question.
28. 29.
Okay, I have a question. You mentioned that you like to have a new IT project every term. So, and we also mentioned that finance is an issue. So, how do you see that the potential risk of having a new project that might cost more than you get from it? How do you see that risk? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, for sure. I think the reason why one particular project ran into loss last term was the bad preparation for it. So I will ensure that the project will be first thing prepared at the summer when EB has more time and members has more time. There should be something like a feasibility study for it, so we will really know the project will not run into loss, and we will not open the project until we will have some contract signed or something. And I think there is, in the field of IGV project, there is the huge potential for example, cooperation with NGOs, and they have some money, so you can sign a contract with them, and then you will know, okay, I will get money from them. So yeah, we don't have to do the project just on the schools where it's really risky, because you don't know if the student will apply, but you have more customers.
31.
I have a question. Have you thought about bringing new project or idea or project in ISEC and
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
have you ever thought about
bringing new projects or idea of projects in ISEC? And what is it?
Yes, I did see it, if there's a question. If I saw bringing new project in a thought, okay. Okay, sorry. I personally haven't prepared any particular project for ISEC, but I had some ideas in my mind that mostly with the partners we can cooperate. Because there are, as I said, there is a huge field of the partners we are not cooperating and we can. So yeah, I don't have not right now an idea for a new project, but I'm sure somebody in this room has, and I will be very happy to help him or her to realize it.
32.
Yeah. Pavel, I have a question. How do you define success, and if you can mention a successful project or success way you see it in ISAC, related to ISAC?
Okay. For me, if you're asking about the project, for me, successful project is that will achieve the goal it's had, planned. The second thing, it will not run into a loss; it will be profitable. And the third thing is that the people that were working on the project will move somewhere because of that project. So I think these are the three criteria that I would describe as successful project.
33.
Yes, we have a question. Everyone says about IGV area, this way works. But what about IGT? We have really a lot of potential. We have a really huge city, and why we are not working out in this area?
Okay. About the IGT, I haven't mentioned it in my presentation because I forgot, but what I want to do about the other areas is to somehow stabilize them and fix them on the level they are now, and keep them in order to the next generation can pick IGT as their focus and work on it more. So I think the IGV area is the best prepared area right now for the growth, but that doesn't mean that we cannot prepare IGT area, for example, for the next generation to grow in it. If I answered your question.
No, question was asked, question was answered, no space for discussion. So, for this round of questions, the time is up, so we will move on to the last questions. Alumni guests, MC, who would be kind enough to ask me a question? Maya?
So, hello, Pavel. On behalf of all alumni, talent managers, MC, and guests, I would like to ask you this very traditional question. As you know, LCP term can be very exhausting and tiring, and sometimes you need to relax, right? And my question is, leva nebo prava?
Unfortunately, because of my moral codex, I'm not allowed to answer this question.
So this was the last question. Thank you very much. And
Thank you. So I would like to end my presentation here with my favorite quote. It is a quote from Martin Luther King, and it says that the faith is being able to make a step forward even though you don't see the whole staircase. And I think we are right now in this situation that we have to believe that we can make one step forward in order to someday go up to the whole staircase. So this is what I want to offer you as to make this one step forward in order to other generations to make even bigger and better steps forward. Thank you.
questions and final speeches are behind us. Let's give it up for the last applicant and her space for question and her speech. Help me welcome here once again Petra Slaktova. Very well. Moving on where we left off. 35. Jakub Saul. 36. 37. No question yet. 39. No question still. 41. So Petka, as well as to the others that were standing here before you, I'm really happy that you applied in the end. I could see how much work you did after the moment that you decided, and how much you changed your work actually after you could realize that you want to take this leadership role. I was thinking about what to ask you. As I told before, I asked all of you already everything, and I gave you everything I could. So my question is simple. Are you ready?
Yes. Thank you for your question.
42.
Thank you very much for presentation. If there is a situation that some of our members or even youth comes to and make an offer in case of innovations, will we be open to implement the idea?
Okay, thank you for your question. A lot of my presentation and my LCP application was to focus on the things that we are already working on. But I also said in my LCP application, it doesn't mean no to anything new or any changes. I believe that the changes and innovations are important, and if we would see that it's something that would be good for an LC and that it's something that could be actually successfully done, I would be definitely supportive of it.
43.
Hi Petka, thank you for your presentation. And I would like to ask you what was the main thing that you learned during your internship?
Did I what?
That you learned.
That I learned. Okay, I would say that the main thing that I learned during my EB term was to delegate responsibilities. I learned how important that is during my team leader term, but I failed to actually do it during that term. But during the EB term, especially in some areas where I knew that I have people that I can trust, I knew that I can delegate everything, and that was actually very important for me. So delegating.
44.
Okay, Petka, thank you for your presentation. And I would like to ask you which 3 people encourage you or help you the most, apply for president.
Thank you for your question. Okay, 3 people who helped me the most. I'm not really sure who encouraged me the most, but people who helped me the most would be definitely Ondra, because he was really encouraging and helpful. Then it would be definitely Kuba, because he was willing to listen to my stupid excuses. And the last person, it wasn't really that he encouraged me or somehow helped me with the LCP application or applying for LCP in general. But one person who actually plays an important role in this is a girl who was my team leader when I was a newbie, because I know that if I wouldn't have such a great newbie term as I had with her, I would not continue in ISAG and I wouldn't be standing here now.
Time is up. 45.
Okay, so thank you for the presentation, and I'd like to know that you said that you would like to make it happen, but I would like to know more about how. So what will be your first steps?
Okay, so my whole idea of making things happen is to focus on the things that are already somehow in process or some like ideas that we already had and we wanted to implement them, but like we didn't have the time, for example, to implement it yet. And I think like the first like action step that I think is really important for this is actually transition for new VPs. Because this is something that I would definitely really appreciate in my transition as well. To tell the person who is coming after me not only about how things are working or what have been done and so on, but also to tell them what are the strategies that I wanted to implement, but I didn't have time or I didn't manage to do it. So this will be the first step, making sure that strategical part is a part of the transition process for you.
MC, alumni, and guests.
Dear Petka, on behalf of ISEC for the Czech Republic, I would like to wish you best of luck during this election process. And our question is following. In charge of ISEC Prague, what will be the contribution? How would you like to cooperate with Europe entities within the region?
Okay, thank you for your question, MC. That's a good question. I believe that there are some countries in which, with which we can cooperate really on just normal exchanges. Like, you know, for example, with Romania, it's really great. So we can have Romanian EPs, or we can send people to Romania. But other than that, I don't know. I didn't really explore this possibility further. But I mean, as I think this is something that should be discussed probably on the personal level, because from what I saw, the only partnerships that are working and the only people that I'm talking to and like trying to make some partnership are the ones that I actually met somewhere. So I don't think this is something that I can just somehow make up without knowing people.
Second question, Jurek?
For the question itself, I dare to make one short note. Today we have 3 candidates, so quite probably one of them will be elected. So this is the only opportunity for you to ask questions and show interest in your LC and what will be happening for the next year. So I really encourage you to ask questions that interest you. So, and I also think that applying for the LCP requires a lot of commitment and courage, and I think that it should be appreciated. So this way from my side. And I'm also very glad to see Slovak candidates for this. To the question itself, what are the 4 main things that you will, as an LCP, initiate in order to get the yearly budget of ISEC Praha into circle?
Thank you for your question, Jurek. Okay, I'm not really sure if I can name 4 things in 1 minute. But right now, I believe that first of all, to get our budget in balance, let's say, we need to focus on CR. Even though maybe people say ISEC shouldn't focus on CR, right now we are not in a situation where we could just leave it out. But I also think it's important, or like there are possibilities how we can implement it in exchange areas. So, for example, focusing more on the level up and trying to make it more sustainable project that can actually help our LC financially as well, will be definitely like a step to go or a way to go. As far as like cost cutting, I think we've done pretty well on the LC cost cutting. But another huge area that where we can actually save a lot of money is vhost. And if we would just accommodate, and if we would just accommodate all of the EPs just for the preparation week, and I'm talking just about Edison, we could save about 100,000 crowns per year. So this is also another like way to go.
Starting another round. Question number 5.
Yes, thank you for your application. And in case you weren't elected as a president, how would it influence your membership in the next terms?
Thank you for your question. I wasn't actually thinking that much about how I want to continue in ISEC if I'm not elected as an LCP. There is definitely a possibility to apply for MC, but I didn't consider it that much yet. I would definitely like finish my term with everything that I wanted to, finish and finish preparations for next Lex Praha. And if I would choose not to participate as an active member afterwards, I would definitely go for an exchange in the summer.
Before next question, let's invite another guest into the room. Tina Langerova can join the elections as guest. Moving on, number 6.
Hi, Petra. I would like to thank you for a presentation. Please imagine that you are as LCP Praha, it's the end of your term. Name one thing that you would like the ISEC to connect with your EP.
At the end of the term.
Yeah.
Okay. I would actually like it to be not just one thing. I would like it to be that I don't know, that comes within my vision. I would like to perceive our term as the term where things actually happened and where we could see the results of the things that we were doing. Not just the fact that we planned something amazing for 2 years from now, but seeing the results of our actual work.
Number 7.
What is, from your point of view, the biggest difference between great leader and bad leader?
What is the biggest difference between great leader and bad leader? Not David.
Thank you for your question. Okay, I think that the leader is a person who can inspire people to follow him or her, and not just create the ideas that he or she has, but who can inspire them to come up with their own ideas and to make things happen by themselves, or make them things happen.
9. 11.
I have a question. It's a short one. How would you change the way we motivate new members?
Okay, thank you for your question. As I was saying, I believe that right now we are missing the connection between the members are missing the connection between the work they put into the ISEC and the experience or successes, whatever they gain from it. And I would like to create space for people to actually take time to think about it, to see what are the results of their work and how is it contributing towards what they want to achieve.
12.
Thank you. I have a question. Thank you for your presentation. Let's say that somebody feels like that they are only working on ideas of the previous term because, like you said, you don't really want to implement anything new, you want to work on what we've already built. How would you tackle that problem?
Thank you for your question. That's an interesting one because it kind of goes against my vision. But as I said, I'm not against the new ideas, but I don't believe that we should be making things up just for the sake of making things up so there's something new. So honestly, if someone doesn't agree with it, he should probably not vote for me.
15. Thank you for your presentation and your very nice application. And I'd like you to imagine that you're EPL LCP of any other LC in our Czech Republic. And you have some problems with your motivations, with your motivation of your members. And what would you like to experience from LCP? Or would you like to experience something?
Oh, can you repeat the question? Make it more.
One sentence summarize the question.
If you had some problems with your motivation.
With my personal motivation?
No, with the motivation of your members,
okay.
of your LC. Would you like to experience something from LC Praha? If you're talking about motivation of members.
Is there anything you would like to get from LC Praha if you were LCP of another LC and had issues with your members?
Okay. Thank you. Well, probably some tips about how to make it better. Like something that is working in the LC Prague so people are so motivated. I don't know. That would be my answer, I guess.
16.
I wanted to ask you, you mentioned that the message we put like into recruitment isn't the good one, and we should focus more on what our LC needs. So my question is, what should be the next message?
Okay, this is something that we actually talked a lot about, and I don't know what should be like the exact message, like the phrase, but I believe that we should focus on recruiting people who actually want to work for ISEC and not just be here because it's a nice environment and you can dance roll calls here. Because I believe that definitely people should work towards the vision, but it's much more easier to explain to people the vision and let them gradually find the connection to the vision, rather than have people who know about the vision but they don't want to do anything for it.
18.
Yeah, what's necessary to do in order to give ISEC Prague this legacy back again?
What's necessary to do? Thank you for your question. I think it's necessary to make things happen. To see the results of the work that we are already doing.
20. 21.
Yes, you told us about which area do you want to focus, but how do you plan not to forget about other areas?
Okay, I personally think that this is something that we have a problem in Prague with, that nobody wants to let their area go. And I'm not saying that we should, just screw OGX, let's close it, and let's just focus on ICX. But I believe that we should just invest the resources there that are necessary to keep the area going, but without actually focusing on one program or two programs, let's say, since we're bigger LC. Without that, we can't grow. So I think it's necessary to do it.
22.
Yes. In your application, you talk about full strategy for IGT. I would like you to specify us what steps should be done in this manner, please.
Okay, this is a nice question for you because we discussed it. I think that the things that should be implemented were actually things that we are talking about. So focusing more on the places where we can present our internships to companies, not in a way of calling them and trying to set up a meeting with them, but trying to find the places where the companies go for some other reason and try to present our opportunities there. So we are not pushing it towards them, we're just creating a space where they can learn about ISEC and about what we offer and let them decide if they want to come or not.
23. 24.
Thank you for your application, it was the best looking one.
Thank you.
My question is, which of your biggest personal weaknesses will be the most challenging to overcome during your potential LCP term?
The fact that I'm a very emotional person and that I cry a lot and that, every other day I decide that I want to quit, but I don't, but just handling the emotions, because I believe that the leading is LC as a very huge responsibility, and that would be the biggest challenge for me, to manage my emotions so they don't come in the way of making decisions and doing the work.
25.
Yes. How will you ensure that new project will be sustainable? And I consider the level up as a new project too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I believe that the important thing for this is the preparation and making sure that the preparations are going as smoothly as possible, which they're not going as smoothly as I would like it to right now. But I believe that we still have enough time, if we're talking about level up specifically, to get things on track so they can actually happen in the way that we plan it to, and we deliver the results that we want to deliver. And I believe that, for example, we would see that there is no way we can finish the things before the deadline. I would just shift the project, the realization of the project.
26.
Thank you for your application and for your presentation, and wish you good luck. My question is following. Imagine that you can change something in your term as LCP IGV, what would it be? Thank you.
One thing that I would definitely change from my term was creating my strategies and things I want to focus on, because I created 3 for each half of the term. So 6 altogether, or like 4 for the next half, and it's impossible to do that many things in 1 year. So if I could change one thing that I would change at the beginning of the term, it would be choose one thing, at least for that half a year, to focus on, not 3.
27.
Thank you for your presentation, and I would like to ask you that in what case would you be satisfied with yourself in the end of your LCP term?
Thank you for your question, Adam. I think I would be satisfied if all the goals that we will set at the beginning of the term would be accomplished. And I'm talking about like any like strategical things that could happen, but also the numbers of exchanges.
28. 29.
I have a question. Thank you for your presentation. Okay, I wanted to ask about OGV since they didn't fulfill the results that were planned. So what do you think was the crucial problem with the promotional campaign that led to this unsuccessful, let's say, SRP?
Okay. Well, to be honest, I don't have that much knowledge about the campaign itself, so I can't really assess how good or bad it was. I definitely know that it was not prepared quite well enough, enough in advance. So that would definitely be one problem. And like the fact that the plan wasn't fulfilled was also because of the unrealistic plan, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know what was like the exact message, but I think that the good idea that I got from when I was doing my research for my LCP application was to focus the promotion of our projects based on the customer that we have. So try to find the projects in the world that connect with what people at our university study or what they might be interested in, and promote just those.
31. 32.
Hey Petka, I like your application. I appreciate that. So my question is so easy. What's your plan for the communication inside our LC and with the other LCs?
Okay. So for the inside of our LC communication, I would definitely keep on using Slack. There's just one thing that I realized that is kind of missing, or sometimes things get a bit lost because of all of the messages, and for example, things like EB or LCP or OC applications, you can't see it in one place. So I would like to solve this issue. Probably just put it in one folder in Google Drive or something like that, something very simple. And as for the communication with other LCs, there's definitely communication within the BOP, but I believe that it's important to also communicate within the VPs. And what I found, especially in IGV, if we're talking about Prague, it's important for team leaders to communicate among each other as well. So, like, I would be really happy if there would be more space at the national conferences for the team leader to actually work together and cooperate, because I can talk with other VPs and we can talk about some great ideas that we could implement. Like, I'm not going to be the one who will be implementing it. And since at the national, when we are talking national, we are mainly talking about Edison, since that is the only project that is running all LCs, I believe that half of the time it would be much more useful if Sasha was sitting there instead of me.
33.
Oh my god, I have the same question. How we can cooperate on all our areas, like business, IGB, IDT in our local community? Better, like work together.
Okay. Okay, I believe that there's like many different ways in how we can cooperate like within the areas. I believe that the ideas are there, and what should be done to actually get these ideas going is to set a responsible person for making it happen, and not saying, okay, we can do this and this and that, and once of a sudden you have again like 100 possible cooperations and you want to do all of them. I would say let's choose 3. Let's choose 3 people who will be responsible for it. Let's set the deadline, like when it should happen, and I think this is the way how we can actually make things happen.
35?
As you know, Bechka, our last two recruits were the best ones. So my question is following. Do you have any new way how to attract students to join our organization?
Thank you for your question. I was actually talking about it with someone, I don't remember who, that I definitely felt that when I was a team leader and I was at the roadshows during recruitment, I knew what I'm going to say right away, and we were all saying the same thing. And it's not just about how the poster looked or what was the message written on the poster. It was that we were all saying the same thing, and I knew right away what I should say to those students. Whereas right now, even as EB, I was standing there and I was really unsure about what I should be saying. So I think it should be more unified, because then you have people who are coming from like way too different sources, and it's difficult to work with them.
36, 37, 39, 41. Since I got the chance to ask you the second question, it will be the one. Why do you think that there are so many people who don't want to ask you the question?
Probably they don't like me. I honestly don't know, but guys, you should really be asking the questions, because you are choosing a person who will be leading this committee either to heaven or to hell. So you have the opportunity to ask now so you can decide properly. So take a chance and do it.
42?
Okay, I thank you.
Thank you.
Is there something which can make you to commit to the position of LCP?
Okay. Like, as I said, I am a person who considers quitting every other day, but I would not do it unless I would be, I don't know, dying or something. Like, any other than like health issues or like something very serious like that, I would not quit the position, because, as I said, I think this is something that you have to commit to, and I consider it like very, what's the word? Important commitment? I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I wouldn't break a job like that.
43?
My question would be, how do you think that for the summer peak, for this summer peak, LGX structure should look like?
Okay, thank you. I don't feel like that I'm the right person to actually say there will be two teams and one will be doing that and the second one will be doing that. I believe that this really depends on the VP of the area and also on the people who might consider working for an area. I really like that the last term we were trying to make positions for people, not people for positions. So I would like to work with the members that we have who might be interested in an area and try to shape the structure of the area according to the resources that we have.
44.
Yes, thank you. In case you were elected, what will be the crucial ability you will looking for from your ED?
What will be?
How would you choose your ED?
Okay. I believe that the most important thing for EB to work is to choose the people who will be one team. So I would definitely consider their personality traits and look for how they can interact and work with each other. And I believe that all of the other things could be learned by them. They can get it into transition, but the way how they function as a team, you can't really learn that or teach them that. So yeah, that would be the important thing for me.
45.
Okay. So how would you like to increase discipline in our LC?
Increase what?
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That's a good question. Thank you. As I think I have wrote it in my LCP application as well. It's hard to work with it if you don't have the right people actually coming to the organization. So for the next terms, I for the future, I would focus on actually only recruiting people who you know will have the discipline and will be working. And for the people who are already here, for those of people who do not want to be here and do not want to work, they can just leave. And for those who can, I think they can find the discipline.
Coincidentally, now is the time for the truly last question. Matthew?
First of all, it takes a lot of courage to stand here in front of the LC and ask for the vote to be in LCP, and for this, I congratulate you. Second of all, my question. In your application, you state that you want to make things happen, and I believe that from your discussions with Kuba and Ondra, you already know that term of LCP is full of hardships, and sometimes you are forced to make a choice. And now I ask you to make a choice. Do you swallow or do you spit?
Thank you for your question, Maka. Since in ISEC we always like to talk about challenging environment, I would like to make it a challenge, and I challenge you to find out yourself. Okay, so it's just 1 minute. I don't think that I have really that much to say. You've had a chance to read all of our applications, hear our speeches, and ask us questions. Some of you used the time, some of you did not. When I was preparing for my LCP application and the elections, I met up with a few LCPs, former LCPs, and one of them told me that the LC will choose from the candidates the one who the LC thinks the LC needs at that point in time. You know all about my vision. I believe that right now it's time for things to make happen in ISEC Praha. And right now it's your turn to decide if you agree with me or not. Thank you.
So this was the final speech of the final applicant, so let's invite the rest of them back. And we will move on in the agenda. Before we proceed with the votings, there is one person that would like to tell you something, and that's Mr. Voter Motivator. So please, Mr. Voter Motivator, what do you tell us? Thank you. It always happens that somebody answers wrongly. So don't write anything else on those papers, on those tickets, but a cross into one of these rows, or these spaces. Because it a lot of times happens that somebody crosses out someone's name. Maybe you don't like that person, it doesn't matter. Just put the cross here where it belongs, not here, okay? So now you'll have a short time for voting. Okay, so you have seen how, so now you have 1 minute to cast your votes, and we will proceed with the collection of the voting tickets. Okay, 1 minute is up. Every skilled ISECer should be able to vote in that time. So, let's proceed with the roll call. Adela Ambrosková, Pavel Bebiak, Tereza Caltová, Mam Suong Nguyen, Martina Černá, Petra Červená, Anta Wu, Tomas Haringer, Rebeka Hingalová, Anna Hospodárová, Kateřina Hubková, Proxa, kdo měl Proxa? Honzík má Proxu za Kateřinu. Tomáš Chromík, Jelena Ivankovič, Emilia Javanovská, Proxa, Tomáš Kliment, Anastasia Klímová, Proxa, Martina, Antonín Krajsa, Maxim Leontěv, Vojtěch Melecký, Kulut Misavi, Vahač Muhammad, Juraj Mušinka, Pavla Neuwirtová, Adam Oreus, Kristýna Pavlová, Sebastian Plešer, Anna Pilanková, Mohamed Sabi, Ksenia Salimová, Ayla Satarzada Proxa, Sára Pejmenová, Jakub Sauber, Olga Ševeleva, Alexandra Šerbianok, Anna Suchardová Proxa, Marie Šimková, Petra Šlachtová, Ondřej Šrámek, Anna Štubrová, Kateřina Švambergová, Sára Tirnerová, Martina Vančová. Okay, so now the voting committee will go outside to count the votes. Please don't leave the room. We will be back in 10 minutes. If you have urgently have to go to the toilet, you can go to the toilet, but come back straight to the room and don't stay outside. We will be back, okay, in 5 minutes because we have new processes and systems. We will be quick. So see you in 5 minutes.
Can we get questions?
Right now, I feel like to be, technically, I cannot do anything more about it. So, yeah, it's already, frozen. So, yeah, I feel really serious about
Jak se máš? Please take your seats. The election committee has finished its job, so please take your seats. Even the guests. No shouts. We have to be silent, we don't have time. Thank you for understanding. So, the election committee has tallied the votes, and the result is that we do not have a candidate elected after the first round. That means that two people with two largest amounts of votes for are moving on to the second round. Before I will tell who, I will just remind you how will the second round look like. It will be a panel discussion between candidates. You will have 15 minutes to ask them questions that both of them will answer. You can just raise your number, I will mark it down, and I will say your number when it's your time to ask questions. So in the beginning, I will just ask for questions, see the numbers, write them down, start the questions, and whenever you have a question, tell me if it's within the 15 minutes, it will be asked. Okay, clear? Cool. So now, want to hear it? Who are the two people moving on to the second round? Okay, I know what you asked. So, in no particular order, the two applicants, there are two of them, moving on to the second round are Anka Hospodárová a Petra Šlachtová. second round. How are you feeling at the moment?
Great. Awesome.
So without further ado, let's move on to the panel discussion. Do you want to move chairs or do you want to stand for the probably up to half an hour?
I prefer standing.
Okay. In that case, there is the first round of questions. So raise your number if you have a question. I raise it visibly. Thank you. Okay, thank you. For now it's over, but anytime further on you will raise the number, I will put you in the list. So let's begin. Number 6.
Girls, I'd like to congratulate you to move to the second round. My question, in my opinion, the relation between LCPA and MC Česká republika is not as good as all of us want to be. How would you improve this relation?
So the question is, how would they improve the relationships between LC Praha and MC? And I think let's stick with the order so Anka can start.
I think that the best option is to not criticize them, but to help them. And also, if we have some problems with them, just tell it to them face to face. And I believe that these people who are in MC are adults, so they will understand it.
Number 8. Oh, sorry. I apologize. I missed it.
Thank you for space. Okay, I was actually writing about that in my LCP application as well, and I believe that what should be done now is for both sides to meet and agree on a fresh start. I think that until we both agree on the fact that there have been things in the past that did not work out and that there were problems, and we both decided to let it go, like in Frozen. I don't think that we can ever move on. So sit down, let the past problems go, and set up how we want our cooperation to look like in the future.
Now it's time for number 8.
How do you see the .compr area now, and area and things now and in your term?
So the question is, how do you see the .compr area now and in your term?
Are we going to stay in the same order, or are we going to change it? Okay, so, we didn't have really comp area or compare area during this term, and I definitely think there should be a VP responsible for it, and it should be a separate area. And I think, or I agree with the idea of having a PR team in our LC, because I believe it makes sense. But since a lot of things like Facebook is merging on the national level, there also a lot of the campaigns is being done nationally. I don't think that we need anyone else in that area besides VP and PR team. If there would be someone really awesome with graphic design, we could have some kind of graphic design manager. But this is, again, it comes to creating or finding people for a specific position. This person would be really hard to find. So unless there would be someone like that, otherwise I wouldn't have this position.
I agree with Peťka that VPCom is necessary in our LC, and also the team for PR, because I think that PR can influence our campaign a lot. And also there should be still someone responsible who will create the concept of our posts on Facebook, because this is really necessary thing. Thank you.
Number 15.
So congratulations, both of you. I would like to continue with marketing stuff. So I would like to ask you, how are you satisfied so far with our marketing in our LC stream?
So the question is, how are you satisfied with marketing in our LC this term? Anka.
I think that it was not in good condition as it can be. I think that one thing which caused that it was that we do not have VPCom, but I can see the hard work of like whole people in CompR, and maybe there were some mistakes, and we just sometimes need to redesign our or rethink our approach, like our PR activities, which with which we can influence our people, our students in our universities, because they are quite older, I think, and we have to find something unique, how we can impress them.
Okay, so for me, I also I can definitely see that there was the missing VPCom in our LC for this year, and it was a problem, or like it was, we could see it that the person is missing. But I believe there are still like some really great people, and we could definitely see that Petra was here, who has been in this area for 2 years, and I think this is like the only thing that kind of saved us, that there was at least experienced team leader if there was not a VP. But yeah, I believe there is much more opportunities for marketing department in our LC to grow if there are good people there for it.
24.
Congratulations to both of you. My question is regarding the recruitment process or recruitment in general. How are you going to tackle the decreasing trend in recruitment in case you get selected for LCP?
Okay, for me, I believe that we can see that our LC can function with even less people. So I would say not plan as many newbies as we used to in the past, and like this obviously makes it easier. But also, as I was saying, really think through the campaign and not just create a nice poster, but have the whole communication message that we want to communicate to the people. So align to what we are saying at class shows, at Sesnamovaki, at the road shows, and what is written on Facebook or what is written on the or the posters.
I agree with Petka, and I also see the other thing there, and it's that there is a bad conversion rate between our people who sign up and people who come to assessment center. So maybe I would try to think if the assessment center is still relevant in recruitment in our LC.
32.
So I congratulate you for being elected to the second round. My question is so simple. It's somehow related to communication and PR. So you wanna like in your plan, PR will be related to communication, the same position, like the vice president will get like the same one vice president for communication and PR, or no? Like it will be divided into like PR alone and communication alone, marketing and communication, and like why? If you will
Just
divide it
one
or no?
question.
Like, yeah, so.
The question was if the
Whether you would divide com and PR in two areas or not.
like 1 week before com and 1 week before PR.
Right.
No, it's not necessary, I think.
Yeah, I agree with Anka. I don't see like the point of that.
33.
Thank you, girls. I have a question. What are your next future crew? And I'm really interested in what should be at the first mark, because we will work with you and what to expect from you.
Can you repeat the question?
Please, in one sentence, try to summarize the question.
What to expect from you at the first mark?
During the first month. Okay. So for the first month, I guess there will be some kind of transition or something. Yeah. So I believe just for the first month is just to getting to know what are the hidden secrets of LCP position that we don't know about it maybe, and yeah, trying to like or selecting the EB definitely That's for the first one.
If you are asking if I will be elected right now and the first one since now, my focus will be to choose the right EB team and take care of their transition, because I could see that the transition is really necessary. And if you have right transition, our LC will be better prepared to start a new term.
35.
So I want to congratulate you that your chance to become the new LC president increased to 50%. My question is following: how would you change or just how do you want to change the sales processes in our LC?
The sales processes, I would continue in what our dear VP IGT created during this term, that you are having the education from external companies. And these external companies can get you like more nearer to our customers. And I think that this is the best possibility how we can teach to approach our customer.
Okay, I agree with Anka in what she said, and I would like to build up on that. You attended sales doc workshops, and there was this whole thing about creating the sales process, about the different stages and the gates that you need to, like things that you need to accomplish in order to move the deal into another stage. And I think the processes like this should be set for both IGT and IGV, or like anywhere that we have sales here. So that there is a clear process of how it should work, and like especially for things that we are doing like on a regular basis. Like for example, selling a design is like it's like the same for like all the schools. So creating the stable processes and properly explaining it to newbies so they can work according to that.
MC.
Okay, first, I congratulate you for a second round for whole MC, and my question is, which are steps which you will do that you as LC Praha will not detach from ISAC Liberec as it happened this term?
Okay, thank you for your question, Adam. I think that the most important thing, or like in my opinion, is to stay in connection VP to VP. I know that it's very important, and I know that I really failed at it during the first half of my term, which I'm really trying to make up for right now. But I believe that in order to not make that happen, we should have in Prague one person who will be responsible for the Liberec, who will be taking care of them as the whole LC, and who will be also making sure that the communication between functional VPs works.
I agree with Petra, and for that I created like one position in my structure, and I think that you could see it.
Christina Amirova.
So, on behalf of all alumni, and especially on behalf of ED Kvalitka, I would like to wish you a lot of courage in the upcoming hours and days. And my question is, in which areas is your opponent better than you? Out loud, please.
Okay. In which area is she better than me? I don't know. I think I wasn't thinking about it, and I think that if she is going to apply for LCP position, this should be at the same level. And that's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Tinka, for your question. And I believe that it's not really our role here to assess our qualities and qualities of each other, but it's up to the people who are voting to decide.
Now there's last minute when I accept new questions, so you have 1 minute to show me. And continuing on with 11.
Okay, so my question is, what is the single quality you appreciate most in other people?
What is one quality that I appreciate most? Okay, I'm going to kind of cheat on this, and I'm going to say that the one thing I appreciate the most is the courage. And why I'm saying that it's cheating. At the beginning, I was talking about the GLC conference, and there I was actually in the home group called Courage. And we learned there that there are 4 elements of courage, and that's bravery, perseverance, honesty, and zest. Which means that people, and these are the qualities that I appreciate in people. I appreciate when people are honest, that when they are brave enough to put their thoughts into action, when they are persistent in their doings, and when they're zestful, which for those of you who don't know that word, it's mean doing things with enthusiasm and wholeheartedly. So I would say that.
I appreciate that some people still in this world are not doing things just for them, but they are doing things for the other people. And this is one thing what I appreciate the most.
No more new questions as of now. Too late. And we're continuing with 12.
Thank you for the opportunity, but my question was already answered.
Very well. 21.
I want to ask, how do you plan to work with education of new members? May change it or not?
Okay. I believe that right now, with our education, I think we tried to move it on the next level, for example, in sales. But where it kind of failed was the communication. Like, for example, not knowing where the workshops are going to happen, or not knowing it in advance enough. So I would try to work on that more. And also, I would like if team leaders would actually create their own educational cycle for members, because I think that for a lot of things, you don't need the whole area or the whole LC to be educated in that particular field. And it's just for those specific teams. So I think this is the way how we could educate our members and kind of move it a bit more.
I would like to create proper education cycle for other LC meetings, because I think that for most of you it didn't have any added value. So I would achieve that each LC meeting will have added value for our members. Each FA meeting will have the added value for our members. And I agree with Petka that our workshops from external companies are great, but I think that these workshops shouldn't be just for people in sales, but it should be for whole LC. Because even if I'm in finance, I still have to sell something. And I think that it should be for everybody. Thank you.
Kubo Kováč.
Girls, allow me to congratulate you on behalf of LC I6D. And since leadership is also about empowering others, I would like to ask you if you can say or mention one thing that you appreciate and that you want to take from your current leader on that.
I really appreciate that you could work with me during the whole term, because I know that it was difficult. And we have many quarrels, even if people do not know about that. But you influenced me a lot, and you made a better person of me. Thank you.
Should I come closer to you as well? Okay, I'm just going to say here, this is very public sugar cube. But one one thing that I believe I learned from you and that is helping me a lot is your optimism and staying positive even if things aren't going as smoothly as they should be. And just like randomly deciding that I'm going to be happy today no matter what really helps. And I believe that this positive approach I really got from you. So thank you for that.
Don't cry.
Okay, next question is from the guy next to Lamina. Sorry, I don't know the name, but
that's okay. Hi, Ace. So, considering my background coming from a bit external and working with global projects as well, I have a long question, but it's straight to the point, so bear with me. Considering the fact that ISEC International, so the global headquarters, and many top-performing entities globally right now focus on becoming the leadership development provider for this world, which also means that they're cutting away every activity that does not directly contribute to leadership development. How do you see your vision and strategies being related to this?
Thank you for your question. Okay. To be honest, I wasn't thinking about every particular activity that we do and whether it's aligned with being leadership developing. But I believe that we would have to take a look at all the activities and see if it's okay for us to cut those activities or not. So even if AI has decided on something, if it doesn't make sense for our LC at this point in time, I would not do it.
I think that every activity in ISEC is implemented leadership. It's just on the way how you look at this.
44.
Okay, how would you, or if you would implement vHost in our structure?
Thank you for your question. It's a really good question. And there should be a team for that. This shouldn't be just up to VP or up to team leader of some project, but there should be one team for that.
From my point of view, I don't think, or I'm not sure if the whole team would be necessary, but at least one person, probably someone who is a bit more experienced in ISEC, should be taking care of that. I made that mistake twice, not to put the vHost manager or vHost team into the structure of IGV, and this is the one thing I will fight for, even if I'm not LCP. I will definitely tell my successor to have their person responsible for vHost. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
15.
I would like to ask you, maybe nowadays you know that our marketing is not concentrated in one team, but it's somehow in many teams. For example, Yuri's team has its own marketer. So I would like to ask you if it's better, or in your opinion, if it's better to have concentrated marketing in one team or in many teams.
Thank you for your question. To answer this question honestly, I don't think that I have enough knowledge about how the structures can work and how they look like in other LCs and in other entities. So I can't really honestly answer this question with knowing that I know I'm not saying bullshit. So I would rather not say anything.
I feel quite the same as Petka, but in my light opinion, even if you have marketing in each area in the teams, always you can have there the person who will control them, who will control the quality of their materials. So that's that.
Number 6.
My second question. One of the strengths of ESSEC Praha are alumni members. Unfortunately, our LC wasn't working, didn't ask them as much as we want to. How would you change it if you want to change this situation? Please be specific.
Okay. I think that we worked a lot with alumni. We had our BOA, and just in my area, I met maybe 6 alumni, which helped me to be as good as I am in my area. So I think that we worked a lot with them. But I know that it wasn't seen because we have like individual meetings with them. But yes, we did it.
Yeah, I agree with Anka. And I think that maybe one thing that could help even more, or that could bring our work with alumni on the next level, would be to have them work with the team leaders themselves. Because, as I was saying, with the national cooperation, sometimes it's better if it's told directly to the team leader rather than VP who doesn't have time to implement it. So, for example, with Hulu, how Hanka is working on the Level Up project, I think it's very helpful, and it could be implemented in other teams and areas as well if we see a need for it and we see the alumni who could help with it.
Last question of this panel discussion goes to the MC.
Hello girls, one more time I want to congratulate you to passing to the second round. Also on behalf of the special group of people who are OG expanders of Czech Republic, BOP Batalova Mama, Guardians of the Brand, then B2C area. And what is my question is, can you please tell us 3 strategies from a broad model we have you would implement to ensure that your LC Praha, in your potential term as an LCP, will jump 1 cluster up? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, MC. Okay, honestly, I don't know what exactly is in the growth model on the whole LC thing. I was focusing always more on the IGB area. So if I would be saying something, I would be just making things up and hoping that it's in there. But I can say what I would implement for IGB, and we were working on it with my team leaders during Falco. And the things that we wanted to implement is more like stable sales process. We want to focus more on B-House. And the third one that we discussed quite a lot would be sales through umbrella organizations and also packaging of the project. It kind of goes one and one.
And my answer is that I was not really thinking about it. But if you ask me after the election, maybe I will tell you. But now I would tell you just a bullshit, so I'm sorry.
And that was the last answer of the panel discussion. So now we will move on to the voting, and that means for now first distributing the voting tickets. So in a very quick roll call, let's distribute. Vojta, are you ready? Yes. So, Adela, 1 vote. Adela Mrskva. Pavel Bebiak, 2 votes. Tereza Caltová, 1 vote. Manson Nguyen, 2 votes. Martina Černá, 1 vote. Petra Červená, 2 votes. Anta Albu, 2 votes. Tomas Haringer, 1 vote. Rebeka Hingalová, 1 vote. Anna Hospodárová, 2 votes. Kateřina Hubková, Proxa, Honza, 1 vote. Tomáš Chromík, 1 vote. Jelena Ivankovič, 2 votes. Emilia Javanovská, Proxa. Tomáš Klement, 2 votes. Anastasia Klimová, Proxa, Martina, 1 vote. Antonín Krajsa, 1 vote. Maxim Leontiev, 1 vote. Vojtěch Melecký, 2 votes. Kulut Misavi, 2 votes. Vahač Mohamad, 2 votes. Juraj Mušinka, 2 votes. Pavla Majvirtová, 2 votes. Adam Oremus, 2 votes. Kristýna Pavlová, 1 vote. Sebastian Plescher, 2 votes. Anna Pianková, 1 vote. Mohamed Sabi, 1 vote. Ksenia Salimová, 1 vote. Ayla Satarzada Proxa, Sara, 1 vote. Jakub Sauber, 2 votes. Olga Ševelová, 1 vote. Alexandra Šarbianok, 2 votes. Anna Suchardová, Proxa. Sebastian, 1 vote. Marie Šinková, 2 votes. Petra Šlachtová, 2 votes. Ondřej Šrámek, 2 votes. Anna Štubrová, 1 vote. Kateřina Švambergová, 2 votes. Sára Tirnerová, 2 votes. Martina Vaňšová, 2 votes. And I just got message that I forgot. Lenka Gorechová, Proxa, Danka, 1 vote. So again, 1 minute. Cast your votes. We will collect as quickly as possible. Okay, let's start with the collecting very quickly. Adela Ambrosková, Pavel Bebiak, Tereza Caltová, Mansur Nguyen, Martina Černá, Petra Červená, Antal, Lenka Koleková, Tomas Laringer, Rebeka Hikalová, Anna Hospodárová, Kateřina Hubková, Proxa, Bůhek je Proxa? Tomáš Chromík, Jelena Ivankovič, Emilia Javanovská, Proxa, Tomáš Kliment, Anastasia Klimová, Proxa, Anastasia Klimová, Bůhek je Proxa, Marta je Proxa. Antonín Krajsa, Maxim Leotěv, Vojtěch Melecký, Kulut Lisavi, Vahač Muhammad, Juraj Mušinka, Pavla Neuwirtová, Adam Oremus, Kristýna Pavlová, Sebastian Plescher, Anna Pianková, Mohamed Sabi, Ksenia Salimová, Ayla Satarzada Proxa Sára, Jakub Sauber, Olga Ševelová, Alexandra Šarbianok, Anna Suchardová, Proxa, Sebastian, Marie Šinková, Petra Šlachtová, Ondřej Šrámek, Anna Štubrová, Kateřina Švambergová, Sára Tirnerová, Martina Vaňšová. Now, we will go tally the votes, same rules, 5 minutes you can go to toilet, but otherwise stay in this room. Yeah, hurry up. Find your seats. We are going to announce the winner. And this is no joke. As you can see from the preparations, we indeed do have a winner after the second round. So I would like both applicants. In order to become the local committee president of ISEC Praha for the term 2017-2018, 36 votes were needed. The winner got 44. So yeah, we got a winner. And now, the winner is...
You have to leave this room in 2 minutes, so just go.
Do you want to have?
Zváš to dělej.
Tak pojď sám na zem. Já se nejsi úplně počkej. Tady se objímají lidi. Já jsem pak přišla, kdo budeš šli, tady se objímají lidi. Musíme jít von, tak jsem neviděla, jak jsem viděla. Petra!
Je taky je super.
You really have to come outside.
Petra. Petra. I'm sorry, I wish you all the best. Are you gonna stay or? I'm gonna stay.